Hi mateys, I've just gone and seen Horizon, an American Saga Chapter 1. Part 2 comes in August 16th. First, bear in mind that this is 3 hours and 1 minute long. If you take into account as well all the trailers and commercials and yada yada that we get for every movie nowadays, it's going to be a long time. Right now, first things first, after that, let's go divide things up to good and bad as a way of organizing this here. Good. The good part is the cinematography is great. It looks good. Everything looks good. The costuming is what you'd expect. Everything looks nice and nothing low budget at all here. Music is good. Very fitting. There's some nice touches like the proper glass, the proper windows like they actually had in the real olden days. And there are a couple of really exciting action scenes. Now, as for the bad, I would go and say that there are a few questionable issues. I think perhaps some people might make more hay of it than others would. With the whole racial stuff, there are a couple of black people who seem to be treated perfectly fine, as things should be. But I'm not so sure that would have been like that in the olden days. I mean, obviously the Wild Westerns, I think, are generally kind of a mythology of sorts, but they seem to be going with something more realistic. Yeah, I'm not sure how well that works out. Then also some of the races, some of the characters are very respectful towards the Native Americans, and some of them aren't. I don't know how that really flies. Some of the terminology that's used. The Native Americans are treated respectfully, and they're not all one-dimensional. They're not all good or all bad. And there's some nuance there as well. Even people might want to hurt the settlers. There's some nuance as to why they're doing what they do. So that's good. And pacing, yes. There are a lot of times where there's no action going on. Unlike with Furiosa and Mad Max Saga, which was pretty much full of action almost non-stop. And also there's it's not a very clear direction as to what is really what the point of all this is. Unlike I guess seen Two Mules for Sister Sarah last night. It was very clear what they were trying to do. Two main characters. They focus on two main characters trying to do one thing, and you see them going from there to there, and that's where it's all about. Also, there are way too many characters for me to keep track of in this. Trying to remember all the subplots of what is supposed to be going on. Yes, it's exasperating. I honestly think this should have been a TV series. I think it would have worked out a lot better. Or a mini-series, like they used to have in the olden days. Before DVD players and all that. Right. Yes, so it is confusing to keep track of everything. Also, I'm not... It's difficult to try to make something properly realistic yet exciting as far as westerns go. So I think it might be better to go and work as a Western movies and shows have generally always been a kind of a mythology of sorts. A lot of times that did not work out so well as far as cultural sensitivity, particularly the way the Native Americans and the Mexican people were depicted often. Of course, there were Mexican cowboy movies themselves, the vaqueros, but I haven't had much experience with those. And yes, but I think they work better as you can work at the advantage of the whole mythology thing Two meals for Sister Sarah. You actually started right off with the opening credits. You see the desert landscape is being, which is set in Mexico and filmed there actually. It's being a very harsh, very hot, and unforgiving landscape with lots of dangerous critters, and you see a skeleton. So it's a kind of like what I thought after the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's like a character in itself. They didn't really do that with this picture. The one I just saw, Horizon. Oh yes, of course, the two meals was there, and Good, the Bad, and Ugly. That incredible score. That really, that you really remember afterwards, especially the theme anyway. Definitely the theme song, theme tune. This doesn't have it. You will probably not remember whatever music is in this. It's not bad, but you're probably gonna forget it. Good attempt, I suppose. There's some good acting for sure, but it gets kind of falls flat, I think. Alright, I gone on long enough. By the way, I do recommend Two Meals with Sister and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, especially that one. Those are great Western. Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is a great Western picture. I do say the Two Meals with Sister would be, except there's some a little bit questionable about their depiction of Native Americans, but they're not on for very long. So I don't know. Anyway, it's a good attempt. It didn't work out. Anyway, I hope things could pick up in chapter 2. Probably end up seeing that out anyway. Like, subscribe, stay foxy. Yeehaw!